Hello, everyone.
Evening. Sorry for the delay. Luke basically got his clock wrong, and I messaged him at like 8:30, bang on, saying like, "Are you all right? Are you working?" And he wasn't. It was just his computer was an hour behind. So yeah,
Yeah. Sat here just minding my own business, and PC clock's not gone forward an hour for some reason. I thought it was automatic with the internet, but there we go. So suddenly I panicked and realised I had about 2 minutes to set everything up. But here we are.
yeah. I've just seen my head. It's absolutely massive. Can you can you
Yeah,
zoom out a bit?
yeah. Newsflash. I don't know if you knew that. Right. Let me
I
show.
know exactly it's massive. Just please zoom out.
Is that better?
Oh, unless I do that, I can do that.
Let me just check. We've got the Hall of Mirrors for a sec. That might be better.
Okay, I won't see for another 20 seconds, but yeah, I don't see my massive head, especially when I've like shaved it a bit as well.
It's a very lovely head. You should be proud of that head.
Thanks. Cheers. Yeah.
No worries.
Yeah.
Evening, Dan. Evening, Skipper. Oh, Dan's a new player. Love to have him in it. He got involved. He's been. I feel for the new players, to be honest. We always preach the fact that people get rotated and stuff, but you've literally joined at the worst 2 weeks of the season. There hasn't been this much rotation at any other point.
It's like Christmas time is going to be crazy. I mean, 28th of December is the worst game week for it. It's renowned for it. But that's in FPL as well as this, so it's pretty real to life, right?
Yeah, I suppose you're right.
That horrible game week between Christmas and New Year that no one likes because it's just so close together. So, but yeah, yesterday was tough. I know plenty of people had 7-8 players, and a lot of people had maybe one or even zero defenders. I saw as well. So
yeah.
it was tough, and I would have been wearing the robe if yesterday was okay for me because when was it, Wednesday night? I had a game week rank of 10. Which is incredible. So I got 95. And then last night was a game week rank of 1,500 with 40 points. So
yeah, it's a shame because if we'd have had the stream in between that you were on, then obviously the road would have to have been donned with a game week rank of 10.
I was buzzing that night. It was great.
I bet. And I did the best I could with what we got, guys. In the end, if you look at the games now, there was actually quite a few goals. I think it definitely picked up in the back end of the second half. First half, it was a bit of a struggle. But that's the thing. If we're going to keep it true to life, it has to be one sim and done. And whatever we get is what we get. We have to make it that way. There's no point me trying to filter it and tinker it and do all the like people have said. I know it's joking, but that doesn't go on because otherwise it's what's the point basically if that's what's going on.
Exactly. Me and Dave did the stream last season, and after the stream we'd sim it straight away, and together we'd look at the game. We can go, has that happened? Like there's no goals for 20 minutes. Is that? And the temptation is just to resim it just once because no one ever know, but like you'll know. So yeah, just one sim.
And to be honest, after we finish these streams, I've then got to sim it, screenshot everything, do a key for the rotation, upload it all to the various places it's got to be done. Half the time I don't finish till 12:30, 1 in the morning. I'm certainly not sitting there simming it 8 fucking times to make it decent because I'm not even playing properly myself anyway. So anyway, just wanted to get that out there. We roll with how it is. And in regards to the leaks, there was obviously, I think maybe I messed up on the Ipswich one, I'll be honest, because I was tired and I didn't really think too much into it. I looked at their team and for me, they've got 9 out of 11 complete nailed starters, so I went with the blue for that reason. But in hindsight, Doherty, who isn't fully nailed, wasn't in, but he's more of a big player, and Holland is a big name player and he wasn't in, so that potentially... it does fit orange, and this is why there's some, the keys aren't perfect at the end of the day. That could have fit into blue, it could have fit into orange. But in hindsight, considering those are two pretty well-owned players, I probably should have put them in orange. So I apologise to anyone where I did that. But I will say that Ipswich have now bought so many players in Craney, for example, who has replaced Clapham, it appears. Berkovic, who we thought was kind of nailed and then comes in and out of the team. They've got so many options. Prutton, Redknapp, that there's just going to be rotation across the board. So you could now say that they will be blue going forward if the likes of Doherty and Holland miss out, because I think that will be normal now. But obviously, we're not to know that at this stage. Does that make sense? So,
definitely so. No, it's a bit hard to put into categories anyway, because as you say, 9 out of the 11 starters are there. But yeah, Doherty and Holland are the main two, I guess. So it is a bit difficult.
Yeah, and that's why the key's not perfect. I think I should have probably changed it. Maybe not one or two big names. Maybe orange should be two names, and then if that happens, and I see Doherty and thingy out, then I should put it as orange or something. I don't know, but I'm going to keep it for simplicity's sake the same as it is for now for this week, because we're going to be doing the same again this week. And then if we move forward and we're going to be mixing up the leagues, I may change the key to get it fit a little bit more.
Yeah, and I don't think anyone should complain, Luke, because the work you've done this week has been incredible. So I know you're doing Sims. Or not Sims, but the comms and the leaks. So props to you on your days off, doing 12 hours to do the comms. It's on a tough week, so credit, mate. No one's ever gonna go at you for one leak. Don't worry.
I still feel bad, but thank you very much. Yeah, no, it's for the love of the game. I appreciate it. It's so. I tell you what is really rewarding, even though you're not playing the game, is obviously sit there, do all that work, do all the comms, and then sit down and watch it play out, and then see people's reactions and what they're doing and stuff like. Most of the time the tweets are just read out and that's it and nothing happens, but like a lot of thought has gone into them. And obviously there's also a character limit where you're putting the team at the top depending on which teams it is. Like if it's Middlesbrough versus Newcastle, you've used up half your characters already, then you've got to do the bottom, and then you've got to fit all of that action into like sometimes 3 or 4 lines where all sorts has gone on, so it's quite tough actually.
I mean, the highlight last night was definitely the Henrik Larsson. So was it 0-0 at half time? I think it was 0-0 or 1-0 at half time.
It was, and people were absolutely slating Leeds here, saying this should be fucking massive score. And to be honest, Leeds have done this all season. They keep scoring in the second half, like towards the end.
Yeah, and then to come out second half, and then Larsson goal and assist, and then the gash leg with the injury. Perfect, great comms. It was good entertainment.
Yeah, I was going to say again, I ran out of characters on that. I was going to have like he's lifted him up, he's hoisted him, and while he's done it, he's gashed his leg. So I kind of just put he's lifted him and then he's gashed his leg. And I was going to go into more detail, but yeah. On that note, people noticed that he didn't seem to go off injured, but this happens in ChampMan quite a lot, where it doesn't actually say that they went off injured. But as you can see by his condition here, that's gone down to 41. That isn't normal. So he did get a slight knock, and then obviously we're about to see he is injured. So it did happen, it just doesn't mention it, and comms is quite bad for that. Sometimes you'll look through comms and it'll just skip out an assist, for example, won't mention that someone got it, but they obviously got credited it, or vice versa. So yeah, a little bit random.
Awesome. Hello to everyone in the chat as well, just joining in. I want to say hello to FPL Shit Entertainer FC. Cheers for the message earlier. It's good stuff, mate.
What a name.
Welcome. Yeah, great name. Go and follow. Give him a follow. But yeah, everyone as well. So Brian Yule, Depression, Perler's Beers, Springbok, Shane McCarthy, Connection, everyone, welcome. Glad you're choosing us.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, Depression. On that note, I saw you throughout the stream, man, just constantly bitching and moaning the whole time. It's so funny when you're watching people bitch and moan. Like Frenchie's always doing it. Sorry to call him out in our Discord. He's like, "Oh fucking hell, this is awful." And I'm sitting there thinking, you're about to get 5 goals in the next 10 minutes. Just cheer the fuck up, man.
Some people are brilliant. Like JJ's a bit like that as well. He's like, "Oh, my season. Oh, I can't handle it." What's your overall rank? I'm 25th now. Keep getting red arrows every week. Okay, mate. Tough.
On that note, actually, I think I was around at this stage. I can't be sure, but I think I was around. I was certainly top 100, but I think it was around sort of 60th, 70th, and I made a massive late charge. And I think Rory was even like 100 and he was like 150. I mean, he'll be able to confirm things in the chat. I think he might have been 150th or even worse, and ended up 4th. So you can still very much make ground in this game. And I think people are noticing now that quite often, it seems more so than in FPL, your players either getting 2 points and just being a complete dud, or they're getting a haul. It happens a lot. Like, and you just have to be on those right players at the right time, and you'll absolutely fly. I mean, Larsson this week, if he didn't come off injured, or didn't come off because sometimes he does get early sub for Alan Smith. I mean, Alan Smith replaced him and absolutely smashed it with the same sort. So he could have had an absolute monster haul this week. And
that would have taken into bonus as well. And yeah, if he got 2 goals, he would have been maybe man of the match even. So that could have been a 20 pointer, definitely.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, also as well, I just want to say, I mean, the second half of the season, there's more chaos. There's more double and blank game weeks. There's going to be opportunities to use your chips a lot more. So there's definitely ground to make up.
100%.
I mean, I'm just outside the top 200. So my aim is probably just top 100 now. But so many weeks left and so much opportunities. So don't lose heart if you've got a red arrow and you're down in the few hundreds. There's still plenty of time to make stuff up. Plenty of time.
100%. And also, as you can, this is another thing I was going to tag onto there. Like Glenn Hoddle here, Tottenham very insecure, which is on the edge now. If they lose a couple of matches or maybe even one, he could be gone. And that's an example where that happens and we get a new manager with new formations, new players. This is where you have to take on your knowledge of the game, and it's an opportunity. Some people won't be able to trust Spurs players because that's how we think as fantasy managers. But the formation and the manager can change so much for certain teams, and things could all be different. So, there's also players that are developing now, still in Season 2, that... people are out there simming as best they can, but they're not in Season 2. The vast majority of them are in Season 1, and they cannot replicate the change that is happening in some of these players. So you're going to see things start to happen that simming just gets harder and harder, essentially. So you're going to have to use it as the guide, as you always do, but you are very much going to have to focus on this sim, I think, more so as we go forward. Which is tough because form, questionable as to whether it's the thing, but if a team's having good fixtures and they have been performing well in those good fixtures, then that's a good sign, right? Whether the sim data says it's not, Middlesbrough are a classic case. I think no one's got them winning the league every fucking season, but they nearly seem to be doing it.
Well, they had a bit drop off, and I thought yesterday as well. I was thinking, is that be 4 defeats in a row now? But they clawed it back, so
yeah,
very good. I was chatting with Depression actually earlier as well, saying with Hoddle losing the job, he'd like to see Harry Redknapp go there. And then Panda saying Harry Redknapp's actually director of football at Portsmouth.
Is he?
And would you believe it? Portsmouth have got Spurs in the cup.
Wow.
In between the double game week.
Wow. Okay. Nice.
So how's that going to play out? Let's see.
I'll tell you a manager we'd. What's his name again? Is it? I'll remember when I see it. It's got Dave in it. Who's the Wolves manager? Yeah,
Dave Jones.
Yeah, I've said this before actually. This is a manager that sometimes comes to the Premier League, and he is definitely one of the better ones to get, even though he prefers a patient style of play, which isn't great. It's the fact that he plays the 4-1-2-1-2, which I really like.
Mm-hmm.
So you get this sort of formation. You get a DM who does very well on average rating. When Blackburn play this sort of formation, they do pretty well. Attacking wing backs. It's pretty good. That's away from home, short pressing. So he's the sort of manager I'd like. I mean, if Spurs get him, for example, that could be interesting. And to my knowledge, I don't think they have any right backs or left backs particularly, apart from really shit ones. So suddenly they'll be putting really crap players there, and there will all sorts of opportunities.
Yeah, Stephen Clark can come in, definitely.
Yeah, Stephen Clark. Awful. Right, let's smash through the teams really quick.
Guys, if you want to put anything in the chat while we go through teams, just if you want to click on the player, just let us know. We can do that.
Definitely. As you can see, they're all about to kick off on the same day, New Year's Day. So it's 2003. Then there is 7 days before Tottenham play Charlton. However, Tottenham do play versus Portsmouth 3 days later, and then play again another 4 days later versus Charlton. So it is risky going in on Spurs because you've obviously got all that training time in between where any injuries can happen. You've also got a game where injuries can happen. Now they could rep in that game because the FA Cup's not got as high a reputation as the league, but maybe not. We don't know. So they could play all their B team players in there and therefore not get an injury. But then also equally they could rep against Charlton because it is a rep game. So there's a lot to consider. There's going to be a lot of luck involved.
Was Portsmouth still Div 1?
13th in Division 1.
Okay, nice. Just to go back to the FA Cup as well, so I don't know if you want to bring the FA Cup draw up to see what teams are playing who. Not so much this round, but I know a lot of people are looking to play their free hits for the double this week. I'll just be careful for the fourth round, especially if a lot of teams get through the third round, like Prem teams. The fourth round, if there's replays in the fourth round, it's the same as Gameweek 26. So if there's replays in the fourth round for Prem teams, then they'll blank in Gameweek 26, and that could be anywhere from maybe 4 or 5 fixtures go ahead to all 10 perhaps. But I would just be careful if this is your last free hit. Just be a bit careful with what's in store, maybe down the road. If you've got 2 free hits left, I think it's a good week to play the free hit. But having 1 free hit, I'd still hold back from it for this double.
Yeah, I agree. And there's still more chaos to come potentially. The Champions League, everything, we just don't know. Someone's asking about Gillingham quickly, so I'm just going to do it whilst I'm here.
Hello, Gilles.
Second Division, 12th.
David H. I've got him in the cup. Third round of the ChampMan Cup.
Nice. Good old Phil Stamp, one of their star players.
Oh, I missed Phil Stamp. Did he play one game? last year. Was it? Did he come on for one game?
He did
No,
not.
I don't think. No, I didn't. Shame. Terrible player.
Yeah, the team's not bad for a Division 2 side. I mean, some of the stats aren't the worst, to be honest with you. I mean, he's got 20 for long shots here. He's a left back, absolutely licking them in.
Ex Blackburn, isn't he? Paul Burton.
Carlisle, Derby, Crewe.
Derby is Derby.
Right, let's fly through the teams then, guys. Injury wise, so you know where you stand. There's not been any transfers, has there? It's only been 2 days in the game. I don't think there has been.
No, there's been a couple of rumours.
Okay, we'll do.
I don't know if you got the list there. I know there's been some of the main things, and now a few players have picked up their 5th yellow card, so we'll go through that as well.
Jay Lane's Mike Duff has been signed by Brighton, who Dave was managing, so he's in Dave's team. So yeah, if he plays for Brighton, I don't know whether they've been starting him or not because it's on holiday mode.
Dave's doing terrible. Those bottom Div2, I think.
Oh dear.
Oh, Dave's doing terrible, I should say.
Let's blame him. Right, Arsenal. One of these guys have a yellow here. That obviously means one more, and then they will pick up a ban. It takes 2 weeks before it kicks in, though. So you can see the names: Basidas, Cole, Lauren. So nothing to particularly worry about yet.
Lauren's such a joke. Hasn't played in 5 games. Absolute joke.
Yeah. He's just been completely binned off. And this is the thing, sim data suggests he plays ridiculous amounts of games. Some sims, however, would be far less, and this is obviously one of them that we've hit now. It's come to the point where it's been too many games. It doesn't mean that he won't start in the near future and then suddenly start picking him up, but do you want to wait for that? I'd suggest not, because I don't think he's worth it. So Luzhny seems to be ahead, and even Dixon's come in the rep games, so there's just too many right backs now. Fuck them off. So yeah, injury-wise, Jeffers, who's been pretty damn good. I think a lot of people sold him and he still continued to do well, is now injured. He's out for 10 days with a damaged heel, injured in training. That's not good news. So that means I would imagine Canu's first pick, sometimes Bergkamp, will now come in. Albertini's still 2 months away. Everyone else is good.
Cool. Just going back to Frederick Tuna saying, how far in advance will we know if there'll be blanks in 36? I think he means 26, but we'll know that before game week 25.
Okay.
So not too long, but a couple of weeks.
Nice. Aston Villa, they have got Schmeichel suspended 2 matches yet. So, one's in the cup. So just 1 match home to Ipswich he misses. Who played last week for them? Enkelman, wasn't it? He did pretty well, to be fair. He's not a terrible backup keeper by any means. He's okay.
Yeah, not as good as that Chelsea defence though. Hopefully they'll start those guys again.
Yeah, I mean, look, they started. Was it 2 17-year-olds?
Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell's 16, and he played at centre back. And Kennedy is 19.
Kennedy's all right. Though.
Yeah, Joe Keenan 20 and Dean Holden 23. So again, this is what we've always mentioned about players and stuff. The AI doesn't take into account. Aston Villa don't see the lineup and think I'm going to go attacking. It's done all on reputation. Chelsea have got the reputation, so Aston Villa set up like this, give themselves absolutely no hope, even if the players are absolutely, terrible that they're playing against. So there's the clean sheet. Annoying for me because I've got Desai and Terry, so that would have been close to a nailed-on clean sheet for both of them, and both of them are fucking injured. But considering it was a rep game anyway, they wouldn't have played. So, I mean, they're playing Jesper Reddin.
Hilarious, brilliant. I loved it.
Yeah. So where were we? Villa, Boateng is 10 days twisted knee. He seems to continuously getting himself injured. Cashlall's long term, he's 2 months with a hip injury. And then obviously we mentioned Schmeichel already. Everyone else is good. So that would suggest, it's not a rep game, is it? What's the next game? Oh, it's home to Ipswich. Ipswich are actually fairly high rep, so it should be full team from them, I would expect. And then obviously Balaban or Dublin is almost a 50-50 most weeks anyway, so I couldn't tell you who's going to start there.
Yeah, so awkward.
Will Melberg ever get a clean sheet again? I mean, he wouldn't. He was very unlikely to get it away to Chelsea, to be fair, and they've been pretty poor. But we said this before. He got a 5, and his average rating is still fairly high. I mean, yes, he's a good defender. It will happen, but it's not been great.
No.
Right, Blackburn, who have, I mean, for a single game week, home to Millwall is possibly the best game in the calendar.
Yeah.
So I expect that they will do very well in this game. As for their team, as you can see, Adams is still out for a month, so that's good for Berg, Curtis, and the like. And yeah, I'm not going to click any others because they're not worth clicking. Everyone else is
just
good.
click on David Weatherall because he's picked up his 5th yellow.
Okay. Henningberg's wanted by Man United. They obviously sold him to them.
Missing him. I mean, they can't keep a clean sheet, so maybe Henningberg was the answer.
There you go. Maybe it was. Yeah.
I mean, he's part of that the treble winning team, wasn't
he? Yeah.
Henningberg.
Yeah, he was. Ronnie Johnson and Berg were a big part of it. What was I going to click? Weatherall, that was it.
Weatherall, yeah.
Where's he gone? There he is. It's only a 1-game ban on the 11th of January. So misses Ipswich away.
Nice.
So if you're looking for a defender, 1-week defender, and you're looking outside double game weeks, I think Berg, Curtis, who are very cheap, are good options because home to Millwall, I'd expect them to get a clean sheet. I mean, you can't ever expect clean sheets in this game, but that's close to as likely as you would get, I would imagine.
Yeah, I think you can even look at Janssen on the free hit as well as one of the striker slots.
Yeah,
I know there's a lot of good options this week with Rebrov and even Yule, and then you look at Manu and Leeds as well. But Janssen's got a good shout for this week, definitely.
Yeah, this was how they played home to Charlton. Charlton are rep 12, Millwall are 13, but it's not far off. So this is what I mean. That's probably going to be their team, except Curtis for Adams, I would guess. That's what I would guess at their team, which means De Boer very likely to be up top if they roll that formation out, and therefore he's an outside captain because he's a mid up top against Millwall. So there you go. Yeah,
if we just go to the last match as well because it was absolutely dire.
It was
the worst game of the season, right?
Yeah, this was a struggle on the comms. I'll be honest. No bonus for anyone but Owen. I don't know if you watched CM Fantasy's video, but he said he did his, when he does his like players of the match at the end of it, he literally had Owen on there on like 5 goals and no one else was on it. And I was fucking laughing to myself because obviously I know after when I did this and then thought of it, I was like, oh my god, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he's right. Yeah,
he's literally the only one who did anything. And people said, how did he get bonus? Right? I saw someone calling him out. I think it was Pirlo's beard because if you look at these stats, yeah, he did nothing. So why has he got an A? But there is another column, and here is runs where he's got 5 runs. He's got 2 interceptions. So he's done pretty well in some of the background stuff. I mean, Gerrard as well was probably in line for maybe getting more, but he picked up an injury in the game. He's out for 3 months, which we'll get to in a minute. Yeah, bad news.
Well, good news for everyone who's active. Bad news for the dead teams. So.
Yeah, Rory saying Bent a good option on free hit. I don't see why not. He's up top against Millwall. I mean,
yeah. I mean, how many Blackburn players do you go if you're on a free hit? Do you go for the 3? Do you go for the defender, De Boer and Janssen? Do you do it or Bent or something?
I'd certainly have De Boer because he's a mid up front, and I love that. Just because you've got the more potential, haven't you? And I'd certainly have a defender because I feel like they could get a clean sheet, and then it's just whether you add a third, which would be Janssen or Bent, I guess.
Yeah, so maybe just the 2 Blackburn enablers then, because like De Boer's what 6 or 6.5 is he 6?
He's 6, yeah.
6, and then say Curtis or Berg, only 10.5, and you got a lot of budget left over to spend on people like Veron. You want to add on, yeah. Okay, so maybe avoid the striker slot for the free hit teams.
There's just so many strikers you can go with, isn't there? Yeah. Bolton, who got battered. Jaskalainen was shite for once. Arsenal actually only had 4 shots on target despite 12 efforts. That was mainly due to Thierry Henry, and he let 3 of them in. So that's a change for Yossi for once, and that's what I'm saying about the form in this game. It's like that's gone out the window for this game. He's just got smashed all of a sudden. Where is his face? Yeah, Thierry Henry.
Yeah, I mean, I'll forgive him for this week.
Yeah.
He's allowed 1 week.
Yeah. Thierry Henry, 7 shots, 1 on target, gets an 8. On another day, he scores an absolute bag load if he gets them on target. But he's been doing that quite a lot this season, I feel.
And last season.
Perez and Lundberg, I think we called it on last stream. Wingers against when there's only one on the side. One was against Pitts. I said whoever's against Pitts could do pretty well. It turned out Lundberg was there. He did pretty damn well. Goal assist
Very
man
well.
of the match.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, I like that. Did we do the team? Yeah, they're absolutely fine, aren't they? Everyone's okay. 96 for Gardner, that's not a worry. Henry's 93. Everyone is good.
Hendry early sub, calling it.
On 93, yeah, could be.
Yeah.
Charlton, who have been very strange of late, to be honest, with their team selections and stuff. I mean, it's not been working, so fair enough. They're mixing it up, I guess. Kinsella is 87% orange, so possible he plays. Sean Davis is still 2 weeks with a calf strain. Yeah.
I mean, why would you not play Fatty Dinser over an injured Kinsella? He's the new legend of the game, isn't he, Fatty Dinser?
Yeah, he's doing pretty damn well. Again, it's this dribbling that I'm pretty sure is higher than 20. I've not actually checked it, but I'm pretty sure it could be. And yeah, he's doing well. I mean, for a 4.5 million, if you're going to take a free hit player, I mean, I'd probably still pick Brian Hughes, but if you want to be different, Fatty Dinser's got a good chance to play both, hasn't he? I suppose there's a week and then Kinsella could come back. I suppose that could be an issue.
Yeah. I want to see at least one captain on Fatty Dinser, please.
You're trying to encourage people to actually try and win this, weren't we? Don't captain Fatty Dinser.
If you're completely out of it and think, you know what, they got a double. Fatty Dinser's on form. He's got dribbling of 20. Give it a go. I mean, I'm not touching him, but it's up to you.
Here is Jason Yule's stats, Adam Sands, as you're asking. Yeah, they don't look great, but for the key ones, they are pretty good. Off the ball, pace, etc. But on this note, I'm going to talk about it now because I may as well. We've got this new kid who we said could be pretty good because he's got a few 20s in the right area. He's only 16 years old. He scored with his first touch against Man United. He's in superb morale. Now, when we talk about rep and ability, when a player's born into the game, so he is a regen and he's born into the game, they come with a set level of rep and ability already, which often is randomised. So his could be already pretty damn high. It doesn't mean he has to earn it to become high, if that makes sense. And obviously anyone who's doing Sims now won't have this guy. It's impossible to recreate him. He has got some really good key stats. So these are the important ones. The off the ball 19 basically means that he gets himself a lot of chances. He's always got great movement off the ball. Now it's generally not good for the team to have a player like this. Because he can't hold up the ball, can't pass it on, etc. He's pretty useless in other areas. But he will get lots of shots himself. And then when he's got 20 for finishing, he can obviously put those chances well. And the other thing that's really good with that is he's got 5 for decisions, which is actually beneficial because if you've got high decisions, often he'll try to make the correct decision. Whereas when you've got low decisions, he'll go with whatever he's best at, and that's been shown in the background when people have looked. The combination of having low decisions and high finishing is generally very good for players like Maxim Sigalko. So Maxim Sigalko will basically shoot. He'll get loads of opportunities. He's got real high off the ball, and he's got real high finishing, and he'll shoot all the time. And therefore, he'll get you a load of goals. And it might actually not be beneficial to your team as a whole in the style and the way it plays, but it's fine if he scores 4 goals in a game. Do you know what I mean? Then it's like it papers over the cracks. So Warren is potentially a very good asset, and the fact that he's 16 doesn't necessarily mean anything. So he could start to sort of feel his way into the team as we go on, which has already started to happen a little bit. Obviously, as it's Christmas, I don't want to get ahead of myself, and it could just all change around. But Yule's got subbed off as well a few times, so
which doesn't really happen, does it?
No, it doesn't normally happen. And I thought I would take a peek in the background at his stats to confirm this, because this, which is probably a lot of noise to a lot of people, is Greg Warren in this file. So a lot of these numbers in here are hard to read if you don't know what's going on. But basically, to explain it very briefly, his reputation is still pretty high. His world reputation is very low. His current ability is 109, which is based off certain attributes, and his potential ability is 180. Now, bear in mind, like Veron's and stuff is 190. You can't see this, can you? Sorry, Andy.
I can see it now. I've got it up now. Yeah.
Okay, so he's got a lot of potential for his CA attributes to improve. The other thing I want you to take note of here is in the background, some things are higher than 20. So his finishing, if this was 40, it actually goes up to 129. Right? So at 40, it will be 20 that you see on the game. Between 40 and 129 is basically cheat levels. It goes higher than 20 and it means they're ridiculous. He's at 47, so he is just in cheat levels of finishing, which means that he will score a lot more opportunities than he should do if given those opportunities. And obviously with the high movement, he gets those opportunities. So Greg Warren could score a lot of goals, even at 16.
Yeah. And do you think he's just going to be a bench player, or do you think just Christmas rotation he won't start, or do you expect him to get minutes now?
I think he'll get some because of his potential, and the game does go off key stats as well of reputation ability. They just seem to be further behind. But his reputation's fairly high. It's not going to be as high as Bartlett and Yule's, but he's going to be in and out, I think. And at the end of the day, his ability will increase quickly if he gets game time, as will his reputation, especially if he's scoring. So one to keep an eye out for, that the Simmers won't be able to replicate. And if anything, the only real lesson here is don't buy Greg Warren for 4.5 when he's unlikely to play. It's more be wary of the likes of Jason Yule and Bartlett, because we can't be sure they'll get as many minutes as they usually would.
Yeah, I mean, but that's similar to like Savarese and Harris, though, right? With Cherno Samba in the background.
It is, but when they start the game, obviously he's not going to be as high a level. But as we move through the seasons, it will progress, and then eventually he will. It's just with him, he started at a higher point already, and therefore is able to compete, I guess.
So Samba's developing, but he's just gone straight in, bam.
Yeah.
This is cheat mode, effectively.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Flair, you'd still expect Yule to start both in the double game week, though. I would expect Yule to start both in the double game week, yes. But obviously, when we do the league, you'll get some indication on that anyway. We'll get some idea.
Yeah. Just going with the league as well. Are you doing the same? I mean, you've mentioned it. You're doing the same apart from not touching the double game.
Yeah, we'll say it at the end as well, just in case anyone's looking for it when they watch back. But yeah, we're going to do exactly the same. And we had a little discussion. I spoke to a few people in the community as well, and we spoke in the team. And we want to keep some mystery, I think. We don't just want to lay it completely out. I mean, at the end of the day, if we see it and Spurs are green or they're orange or whatever, then suddenly that forces everyone's decision to the same thing, doesn't it? We're either not going to touch them at all, or we're going to all load in on them or whatever. So I thought we'll do one game, and at the end of the day, you can kind of treat it as a bonus. So basically, the Spurs Charlton game is going to completely be off the books. We're not going to know what's going to happen in that game, and we're going to go with the other one. So depending on what Spurs are, and as they're away to Derby, I imagine it will be green or blue. You're kind of left with the decision then.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that, because the game's a week away. So effectively, like real life, you're not going to know the league or the lineup a week in advance anyway. So
no, and
a lot of stuff can happen.
Even if you know the team, let's say even if you knew what the lineup was going to be, yeah, exactly. There could have been injuries in the training or in the game that could suddenly change it. Someone could have been starting and then suddenly he's out of it. So it doesn't really make sense to leak it later, because we wouldn't have known in real life. Like you said,
yeah. I agree with that.
Right. Chelsea. Did I do the players for? Yeah, I did do the players for Charlton. So Chelsea. They rested half their entire team, but Desai is orange, 10 days, 35%.
He's coming back in, Luke. He's back in New Year's Day. He's 35%? God,
he's not going to play. Surely not. John Terry is still 10 days, strained knee ligaments. Leon Knight is 2 weeks with a sprained ankle. Wayne Warren Cummings is 3 weeks away. 90% orange, so he could play, but everyone else is okay. Lampard's yellow away. And
who have they got in the cup? Because that could save you for Desai, because they haven't got another game for 10 days in the league after this. I've got Villa, so they might play a stronger team. Which they could play Desai again. Yeah, maybe.
You're a tease. You're a wind up. My team had 4.5 million midfielders starting it today. Last week, sorry.
Paul Evans, though, doing a great job for you. Coming on.
Yeah, he hasn't been that good the last 2 or 3 games. There's been 1 pointers all round, but he scored me like 3 or 4 goals off the bench, and that's why he was there. So great.
Yeah.
Darby Ravanelli is still long term, 2 months. Connection saying Zola back as competition for Forsell. I don't think so. I think that was a full-on rep team that we saw. I think Forsell's still ahead. I still think Zola will be on the bench most weeks and can come in for whoever's playing the worst out of Johnson and Forsell. Usually it's Forsell because he's got the lesser reputation, etc. So
yeah, I mean, if you click on Zola as well, his stats have dropped off massively from what they were like 6 months ago.
Yeah, they're starting to wane. A lot of these stuff is the mental stuff. Technique and flair, set pieces, that'll stay 20, but if you ignore those 20s, it's starting to dip quite a lot.
Yeah, I mean, was it pace 10? Not good. Yeah.
All right, that's Derby. Boulder's nearly with us again. A few days, pulled hamstring.
Great position that he plays as well. Perfect for Derby.
It actually is. Everton. Jason McAteer came off injured last game. Didn't give it his all. He's 2 weeks, twisted ankle. So he will not be playing. Kevin Campbell has got a gashed head.
Ooh, nasty. Was that picked up in the game?
He was injured in Everton's 3-2 defeat against Middlesbrough. So, yes. Someone's saying click on Tonton. Right, quickly. Here he is, developing nicely, except Derby have signed 1 million midfielders, so unfortunately he's getting even less of a look in than he did last year at the moment.
It's a shame. Yeah, nice work, Skipper. Saying my Dean Holden 1 week punt based on the league was better than I could have ever imagined. That was good. I mean, to have the Chelsea red and then go for Holden because you think, it's a completely different team. It's good. It's good punt, that. I liked it.
Love that. Really do. That's great. Everyone else seems to be okay. Di Matteo's on 91%. Funny story, actually. Someone in my Discord accidentally bought in Roberto Di Matteo when they meant to bring in, I think, Sean Wright-Phillips or someone at the same price. And he was like, for fuck's sake. He's like, I'm going to have to take a hit now to take him back out. So he took him out for a hit after bringing him in for Sean Wright-Phillips. And then Di Matteo scores this week.
Brilliant. Love that. Di Matteo's been doing all right.
Yeah, I know. Honestly, because again, this is one of these ones where I'm watching as an observer and can't say anything. I'm just sitting there going, please don't take him out for a hit. Just run with it. And everyone's going, nah, just get it done. I'm like, no, keep it.
You just give little signs like,
yeah, no.
Are you sure?
No, I can't say anything. Yeah, I'll be accused.
Yeah.
Ipswich are... I mean, this is a fully clean bill of health here. Everyone is good. He's on loan. So the worst we got is 98% Haridason, who...
He's picked up bonus again, didn't he? Last game.
I mean, he got cheated out of man of the match. He got a 9, and Tarico got an 8, so it had the bug. 15 headers, 13-1-5 key. This is reminiscent of last season. Absolutely dominated it at the back there. And the thing is, for one of Derby's goals, he lost a header and they conceded from it really annoyingly.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
So that's probably why he didn't get man of the match then, because he cost Derby one of the goals.
Could do, but then his rating should have come down as well, to be fair. But I mean, look, it's just constant string of 9 and 8s from Haridason now. He's just not getting that extra level of luck that we were having last season, where that would be a clean sheet man of the match last season.
Showing why he is 6 million though, and not hardly anyone's on him because of the price, but it's decent enough. If you get a clean sheet, he's going to get you 8 points.
Yeah, well, he should be, definitely.
Sure, should do.
Leeds, and there's the main man there, so we'll click straight into it. Larson, who went off injured, 57 minutes. That dreaded gash leg has completely ruled him out of contention. Lee Bowyer fucked him up. Yeah.
Not the first time Lee Bowyer has done something.
No. And he's out for 10 days. So when we click on Leeds, they're obviously playing today. 4 days later they play Huddersfield. Could be orange for that game. Maybe he plays, but they'll probably play a weakened side in that, I would imagine. And then Tottenham is on the 11th. So you have to kind of pray that they don't play him. If you're holding on to him this is or plan to get him back, you kind of have to pray they don't play him against Huddersfield. And then he should be good for away for Spurs, which is a pretty damn good game.
Yeah, it should be, but it could be 1 day orange.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of on the cusp of it, isn't it? I mean, we'll know next stream, but
we will.
Would you hold him? I mean, it's awkward now, isn't it? If he's only going to miss 1 game, you need 3 strikers always, and the fixtures this week are too good.
I'm with you. The games are too good for too many strikers, and strikers too much of a powerful position to hold through. When you consider in half. You could have 2 or 3 other people rested as well. You need your strikers in this game. They can just get such ridiculous hauls. Yeah, I mean, like Luke and Andy said in the stream as well, the Red Rob move is so easy from Larson. It makes it ridiculously easy to do it, doesn't it, really? Same price. Tottenham got a double. Yeah. Those on Larson, just go Red Rob. So, and then probably switch back the week after if he's fit. Yeah, fully on board with that. It sounds pretty boring, but it makes sense. Bridges is 4 months with a broken leg. We knew about that one. And Decor is 3 months with a torn groin. Where else did I see? Yeah, Bowyer is suspended 1 match, so he won't be playing. So what do we think then? I guess that's going to be Alan Smith. Who are they playing? They're home to Sunderland. Smith's a good shout for this week again. Yeah, let me just check. Sunderland are rep 14 now, so I can't see it being a rep game unless there's any Christmas shenanigans. We should have Alan Smith up top with Viduka. We should have Roy Robbie Keane in AMC, and then Harry Kewell alongside. I guess it would be one of Backer or McPhail will probably be the one that plays alongside him. And
when it should be Decor, but it won't be.
No, he's out injured anyway.
Oh, is he out injured? Sorry, okay.
Yeah, 3 months.
Oh, of course, nice.
And then Ian Hart, won't he? He played last week. He didn't actually do much, which is actually more of a surprise. Obviously, they conceded the one annoying goal, but
yeah, very annoying. I mean, I brought him in. That was my transfer this week. I went Lauren to Hart, thinking it's a short-term move for 1 week. Millwall away. I'll go with it.
Yeah, and as you can see, I mean, Leeds 20 shots, 10 on target. But this is why when I said right at the end, Leeds have battered Millwall, but Millwall actually held their own as well. I wouldn't have expected them to get 5 shots on target and actually to have 54% of the possession. So they did pretty well. I mean, they're good for the goal. John Ashwood was shocking, and he got subs right at the end on the 5. In the match comms, basically on every goal, it was slating him. But also a lot that was happening is every time Leeds would score. Not necessarily. So Bowyer scores the goal, the very first goal of the game, right? Straight as we start. Bowyer scored with the great strike. Leeds look content to play out time. So they've instantly gone to a more defensive setup the moment it's gone to 1-0 to Leeds. And then Millwall have scored straight away as soon as they've changed their setup to defensive. So they've conceded the game. Evans and Millwall have gone more attacking. And they've scored straight away. So it's just this AI which is really stupid sometimes it plays.
Did they go back to attacking straight afterwards then? After Millwall equalised?
Yeah, I think they did. So let's have a look. Let's go through. Does it mention it?
Why was Ashwood even playing anyway? Because Tyler was fit, right?
Well, this is another thing. Ashwood, who's 17, his stats aren't the worst. You know, they're okay, developing. But Tyler is the more established name. But they're not hugely better, but maybe Ashwood's rep and ability are getting closer to Tyler now. Tyler was out for a while, didn't train for 3 weeks, didn't play. Ashwood was playing, his rep and abilities are boosted, so now maybe they're a little bit closer. So again, it's something to watch out for. Ashwood may have replaced Tyler or very close to it, but it could switch all around. So this is you just don't want to touch either of those goalkeepers now because you just can't be sure who will start unless you have Ashwood as your 4.0 on the bench. But
yeah, and there's a few of those now.
Yeah, imagine that actually as well. Like Pirlo's beard saying there, 17-year-old in goal that you're trying to develop and build up, and they're scoring the 88th minute, and you're like, right, get the fuck off the pitch.
Oh, Ashwood, fucking hell, mate. Off you go.
Yeah.
At the den as well.
The old manager, you're fucking dog shit. Get it off. Yeah, no, it's not great for his confidence, was it?
Poor kid.
Poor kid, indeed.
Hasn't got the confidence of what's his name, Blackburn.
Oh, yeah, what's his name? I can't remember.
Is it like John Smith or something? What was it? Okay, what's the Blackburn player? I'd know if I saw it.
Yeah,
it's not Stephen Wallace. What
no,
is it?
It's the where is he?
Blackburn.
Yeah, sorry, I clicked wrong.
Because it's Souness. Is he defensive mid or something? Influence 20.
It's not Wallace, is it? No, it's not him.
No. Sort by age, because he's 16.
Here he is.
John Smith. Oh yeah, he played centre mid when he was a left back.
Yeah, 20 influence. Taking over this team, mate.
Captain already.
Right, Leicester. This Lee Marshall doesn't really play, but he's out for 10 days with a damaged shoulder. Still orange though. Wise is still a yellow away from ban, and everyone else is okay. Yeah,
Matt Elliott is also the same as Weatherall. I think he misses Gameweek 23. If that game's on a Saturday, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
All the games on the 11th, or they've done TV fixtures?
Oh yeah, no, Chelsea. So yeah, there's one on Monday. They've moved that one.
Okay.
But yeah, he's banned for away to Chelsea, which you're not going to own him. But even if you did, you wouldn't play him in that game. I wouldn't have thought. Akinbaye is leaving on a Bosman. He's had enough.
Fair enough. Get some game time under you, mate. Still young.
Izzet was pretty good last game. 3 shots, 2 on target against Spurs. Unlucky not to get something here. Akinbaye had lots of headed attempts. You know, he's still got a relative. I mean, he can do that, and sometimes he can boss the game. Game didn't really work. Spurs actually had a clean sheet for once, which actually Panda amazingly called on the last stream. He said he thought Spurs might get a clean sheet in this game, and there it was. So to predict one of them, fucking gold dust. So fair play.
Well done, Panda. I know. What's depression moaning about? He had Ledley King. in his
Did
team. He bought Ledley King, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can see he's much improved from last season. His stats were horrific last season, but he's another cheeky one for the double actually, because Dean Richards got injured in this game versus Villa in the 41st minute, and since then we've had 2 games, and Ledley King has played both of them as you'd expect. And he played all right in here, and he's got okay stats. Again, he's another with very high potential ability. So I would imagine he will play both the games when we get to Spurs in the double, and he's a 4 million defender. So certainly, if you're on a free hit, he's definitely one to have on your bench if you weren't going to play him, unless of course you're using your 3 Spurs assets elsewhere.
Yeah, Rory was first with a pun there. Akinbaye.
Adios.
Nice.
Nice. Liverpool. So yeah, as you saw, Steven Gerrard is out for 3 months now. That's pretty bad for them. He is one of the better DMs in the game. But on a positive, I guess that means Biscan's probably even more nailed for centre midfield now, so could start coming into our thoughts. He's been injured for a lot of the season, but is generally very good.
Yeah, Biscan's a great player, and Biscan was someone in the Liverpool team. If he plays regularly, he can pick up bonus, and for 5 million, if you get him 4 and 5 points every week, it's perfect. He is really, really good.
Yeah,
Biscan.
And with Hegem out for 2 months as well, so he's basically got right back and centre midfield where he can slot into most weeks.
I mean, it's not a bad shout on wildcard to have Biscan as your 5th mid.
He's one of the few mids in the game who can pick up bonus even when he doesn't do anything. 7.40. It's usually because of that 20 jumping. He wins a lot of headers.
Yeah. If you're looking for that 5th mid, kind of like your 12th man, someone that can come in and get your 3-4 points, he's good. He's good for it. Yeah.
Elliot Lander saying he's playing a sim at the moment as Leeds. He's 3-2 up at Anfield. Conceded a last-minute penalty and the goalkeeper sent off. Stuck Viduka in goal and he saved it. Legend.
Wow.
This is the kind of crazy CM stuff that does happen. Whereas if I did that, people would accuse me of re-simming it over and over. But mad stuff happens in this game every single time. It's crazy.
I had another abandoned game recently.
Right,
when I was on it, so
red card.
Yeah, just no from bad weather. We haven't had that yet, and I'm just hoping we get that in this sim.
No, sometime. A lot over the Christmas period. I have been noticing, because obviously I'm doing the match comms and stuff, that there's been a lot of slippery balls out there.
Okay, so it's pretty cold, pretty wet.
Yeah,
and I mean we can get postponements as well, which makes things interesting.
Yeah,
that happens quite regularly.
Incredibly frustrating. Depends how you look at it.
But we'd know, wouldn't we, beforehand? It wouldn't just happen. So
yeah. Manchester City. Scotty Brown was 2 weeks with a broken toe, and Darren Huckabee, who went off injured. Recent was it last game? Or was it the game before? I lose where I am.
Game before. Yeah.
Is 2 weeks away. So Hayworth, who did he play last time? He did play last time. Will probably play again, I would imagine.
Yeah, it's a nice fixture for Man City. I mean, part of my problem is this week, because obviously Rebrov's probably the standout captain pick and player to go to, but I've got one shot for Duca and Van Nistelrooy, who have all got great fixtures, so I'm probably going to avoid a Spurs striker, which makes it...
And just while I'm on this page, look at Sunderland, 9 shots on target, 58%. Kevin Phillips, 5 shots, 3 on target. Yeah, so he goes from hat-tricks 1 week to blanking. He is very... Him and Van Nistelrooy have been very like each other this season. Actually. Lots of blanks and lots of massive hauls. It's been strange. Need to slip some of those slippery balls into comms. I would, but I didn't think they'd get it. Man United, no one of note there is injured.
Apart from the ref.
Apart from the ref, yeah. Paul Tierney. Veron's 98%. 10 goals, 8 assists, 5 man of the match, 8.19. This is what we expected season 1 of him. That's 18. I suppose if you count man of the match as a return, that's 22, 23 returns in 21 games, which is pretty damn impressive. Yeah,
did you see Clem's stats today? He tweeted.
No.
So Veron is averaging 10.3 points per home game.
Wow.
He's on course for 200 points just at home in this season.
Wow. Yeah.
which is crazy. I mean, Varane, I think I don't know how many points he's on exactly, but he could top 300 points this season.
Wow, yeah, and that's what we expected of him. Obviously, we brought his price down because it wasn't quite happening, and then this can happen. So then next season, if we were to do it, is he suddenly 12 again? If he produces that sort of level of performance, and then he goes rubbish again, you just don't know. But penalties come into it a lot as well. I know he didn't get one this week, but he has been getting a few before that, I think. And they can. I mean, this game it was 2-0.
I mean, look at that 2-2 against Charlton. Though, so.
Ridiculous, isn't it? He could get 2 penalties in the game as well, and suddenly have 4 goals. Yeah, I just love it.
Yeah, and there's a real move to the power 4 now. Like people are saying, you get Varane, Van Nistelrooy, Viduka, Larsson, or another premium striker to have like a power 4 up top, because you can get the midfielders that kind of like 5-7 million and the cheap defenders to enable that, and it is working. So.
Yeah, because we've had players like Doherty, which you just wouldn't expect, who's gone to Ipswich. You've got Ronald de Boer, who's suddenly a goal machine up front, apparently, for 6 million. You've got Zepeda. You've got players that are just overperforming what we'd expect that are very cheap. So you can now fit these guys in.
Yeah, and on wildcard, I mean, I'm trying to hold on to it until we know more about FA Cup, but I know that people are wildcarding now and just getting it's a no-brainer, Rude and Varane, and a couple of other premium strikers, because there's good cheap options that can enable the rest of the squad. So
this guy, I mean, he was in when I was making my dead team. Varane was the one I was certain I was going to have, and then when we did the 10 pricing sims and he fucked off to Italy, and about half of them was like, I can't have him in because it's not possible. If that happens, my dead team's fucked. So I didn't bother, but I really did want him, and he's killing it. Yeah,
I haven't owned him all season, and I need to.
Is this home thing just variance from Ryan? I suppose that it will be some variance. Like, I expect him. I mean, I don't see any reason why he won't smash Newcastle. I think Andy will talk about that in a minute, because Man United are generally pretty good against them. But there is something in it. Home games, you do have a bias. Like, there is a bias in this game. It's very strong. I mean, if you were to go, we'll look at the home and away split in the league in a minute. But teams just do better at home. It's just how they approach it. And Varane, especially for midfielders, just struggle for points in this game in general usually, unless they are the likes of Varane, who's got ridiculously high long shooting. So,
yeah, I mean, what I would say about like Man U being at home and someone as good as Varane being at home is that the teams he faces are just perhaps giving him like the freedom of Old Trafford to like do his stuff, where he's not getting that away because teams are normal or even attacking.
Yeah, defensive. So. A lot of the time,
if teams are defensive, Varane's just got the freedom of Old Trafford just to do whatever he wants. Like, that's what the AI is thinking, right?
Yeah, and I'll tell you someone who was very into it in season 1, Scala, who knows a lot about this game. I haven't seen him much. I think he's playing, but I think he's just busy and can't comment as much. Was basically saying a lot in this game. The volume of shots and what you get in this game, it's good, but it's all about the quality of chances. So that's why when you have 2 teams on attacking, quite often the quality of chances is better because they're closer to the goal. And when you have a team that is ultra defensive, and then Man United are at home and expected to batter them, quite often they'll win 3 or 4-0 and they'll have like 30 shots. But it's because so many of those shots are from distance and not particularly good quality shots. Again, it's the same to real life, right? If a team sits with a low block, they end up having loads of chances in the game, but they're usually like from 25 yards or something.
And that's when De Bruyne gets the haul.
Yeah. And so it's a similar thing where Varane will probably more likely to get them because he's going to be shooting from range.
Exactly, and that's how I see Varane in this game, is like De Bruyne in FPL. Like, Man U are the Man City in real life, and Varane is the Kevin De Bruyne.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's a good parallel, I think. Middlesbrough, who managed to turn it around, they're now away to Charlton. Very good game. Again, it's going to get probably ignored because there's so many good options this week, and it's a single game. But playing Charlton generally is a pretty damn good game. So the likes of Boxic, who is on 90%, should be fine. Cepeda 97%. Are good options again, I think. Ian Pearce is still out for a month. Gordon came in, didn't he?
So I would say Boxic at 90% starting isn't a good option. I think that's an early sub for him. He loses condition so much. He'll probably start, but I can see a 360 sub there.
Yeah, Whelan could get some minutes then. Rickard's been great of late as well.
Yeah, Rickard's great.
So the thing with Rickard as well is he's actually got more assists than this because he's been given fantasy assists. He's won quite a few free kicks that then Zapata and Johnston have scored. So he's actually done better than he's in the game as well. I clicked all the players here, didn't I?
I think so.
Yeah. Millwall, they are good. Neil Harris is a few days, 90%. So I feel up top again, maybe he comes in. Everyone else is okay. My man Evans with his 5 goals.
Yeah, I mean, Millwall look to be struggling now. Like, it's caught up with them. I think they're pretty much down with Charlton, I'd say.
Yeah. How is this guy not first choice? He plays for Wales. His stats are pretty much better than anyone else, and still, like next week, I fully expect like McKinley to come back in again. It's just.
But McKinley's got a good reputation, though.
Yeah, he's decent, but
he's got Scottish caps.
He has. You're right. Evans can actually score goals. They need to play him.
There we go. Look at that reputation. Fine.
Get rid of Cahill, then he's a nobody. Newcastle. So Shearer is now not injured, but he's tired, 57%. So he's back.
Of course he is. Yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't like Robert as usual, but on 57%, again it would break what I've seen. He's not going to play unless he's above 70, unless there's some shock gathering of condition from somewhere. But yeah, for me that's a pretty good thing, I think, because now he won't play this one, and hopefully he'll be closer to full strength come the end, unless they tire him out against Walsall.
Walsall are okay in this game, better than you think.
Warren Barton 1 game ban. Yeah, last game Maddison did play at right back. Remember we talked about that, didn't we? Whether he could play right back. So he did play at right back. So I imagine it's probably the similar team as that.
Actually, just go back to Man U as well. I think is Ronnie Johnson's got 5 yellows. I think it's Ronnie Johnson. Did he play last game?
Well, they didn't play Rocky Jr., did they? So that's why people were wondering why Man United were blue, and they suggested maybe Scholes would come into York again. That's probably what I think. I also thought Beckham might come in for Chadwick, because Chadwick was slightly low condition. And then obviously when I run it, Rocky Jr. didn't play, who scored and got a clean sheet last week. And Keane didn't play for Scholes. So
nice, yeah. Yeah, Ronnie Johnson's got 1 match ban.
Yeah, 1
again,
match ban.
So misses Gameweek 23. Yeah.
Home to Arsenal. So maybe Wes Brown plays that one. Sunderland, again, if there's anything to learn from the leaks, as a fantasy manager, you think from FPL and stuff, Tome and Arca have had their rest. That means they're going to come back. The fact that it was orange again should have spelled that it's very much likely to be the same players that missed out. And to be fair, I saw a lot of people thinking that. And it turns out they were correct, because we've seen this before. Sammy Hippier season 1 was a good example. Missed 2 games in the spin. It's nothing to do with condition in that case. They were just rep games, or Christmas rep games even. So yeah, now you know when that happens, Tome and Arca are likely 2 of the people that will miss out. So if you see an orange for Sunderland in the future, there's a good chance. It's not 100%, but there's a very good chance that it's Tome or Arca again that are going to be missing. Lawson is out for a week, injured. He won't be playing. McCann is a week away. He's 81% orange, so could play.
Nice.
Arca, remove that name from my screen. He's been great. It's the AI. It's not his fault.
I love the guy. Blame Peter Shreves.
Kevin Caban's been rolled out for 2 games through 7, and he'll probably never see the pitch again all season.
It's affected Phillips as well. He can't finish the tough chances that. I mean, Julio Arca just lays it on the plate for him. got to play Arca. And Lieber's done nothing, and he's made it worse, hasn't he?
Yeah. Simon scored off the bench though. Got a reaction from him. Yeah. Teal's been fine. Again, he's plugging away.
Would you say Lieber and Sabon are like Balaban in Dublin, or is Lieber going to be
I think so.
First choice?
Yeah, Lieber's going to come off early, isn't he? He still might be worth a punt, because he's 5.5 million as a starting striker for Sunderland. But I don't like having the second strikers in this game, and even like that with Leeds. I mean, we've made kind of an exception because Larson is just an exceptional player. But even like for Man United, when you've got York, you know, the second striker thing just doesn't generally seem to work, even though it should in a top team. I think Larson will probably be the exception, but that's why I don't think you could price him too much higher. If he's going to be the one that's always subbed off or is more likely to miss the game than Viduka, then it just feels like you've got to underprice his talent a little bit.
Yeah.
Second strikers just seem to suck.
Yeah, they do now.
Spurs, it's obviously
Yeah, Ziga. Still orange.
one day.
Killer, I was going to get him in. I really like him a lot. He can definitely get attacking returns.
He played last week.
Hate that.
Yeah, he did play last week. If you look at their bench, this guy can play left wing back, so I suppose he could have been subbed on. No one else could have come on.
Why don't they take him off?
Everson is also 10 days, 90% groin strain. I think when it's muscle injuries in the past, it's rare. You rarely see them play, so I wouldn't have thought he'll feature. But it's because it's 10 days. Their doubles within a week, isn't it? So he should still be orange by that time. So I don't think Everson will disturb us. Hopefully, but he could do. Fortune is 3 weeks with a groin strain, red, so he won't even go to orange. I wouldn't have thought. And Dean Richards is 2 weeks, strained knee ligaments. Potentially he goes orange after 1 week and then plays, but again, I wouldn't. I don't
think so. I wouldn't say so.
No.
I think Ledley's probably nailed for both.
Yeah, people saying Anderson. I do. To be honest, I do think Anderson. He is really capable, and he could even end up front or in midfield in the game, and he can take set pieces sometimes. But he's just so injury prone himself that I wouldn't trust him to stay fit between the 2 games or even in the 2 games.
Yeah, especially with the FA Cup game in between, you don't want to trust Anderson.
No, anyway. I wouldn't go near it. It just screams of heartbreak. So yeah, I mean, their last game was this team. I don't see why it would be much different. Simon Davies, who was a shock miss out, should come in for Johnson, and Rebrov for Armstrong. Apart from that,
it's nice that Rebrov has had the break, really.
Yeah, Bunjevic should come in for Gardner. Bunjevic here, Davies here, Rebrov here, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Which means Sean Phillips is potentially an option.
Yeah, so Rebrov, people want to see Rebrov stats?
Yeah, we didn't get a great version of Rebrov in our game. He's one of the few established names, as in well-known strikers, that hasn't got set stats in quite a lot of areas. Like Van Nistelrooy is always the same version of Van Nistelrooy, for example. Rebrov's not. He changes quite a lot. And in our one, we got a pretty shit one, to be honest. But it didn't stop him last season from scoring 15 goals, and he scored a hattie in 1 game, and he was pretty good for a little period. So there's no reason why he can't do that again. Also, the good thing for him is when they play this formation and he's the solo forward, generally he does pretty good, gets a lot of the efforts. Playing 1 up top in this game is pretty powerful. I know it does actually end up with 3 up top because they follow the arrows. So it's not quite 1 up top, but he certainly seems to do better in that formation than when they play Everson and him. Everson usually steals the goals, if anything.
Yeah. I've had a quick look today at fixtures, like these fixtures for Tottenham with Charlton and Derby, and the average is pretty much 5.
What goals across 2 games?
Goals across 2 games. So for 5 goals, you'd expect Rebrov to get a couple there, at least, I'd say.
The goals aren't very spread, but you'd put him down for 1 or 2, wouldn't you? You'd hope. Salakovic 1 or 2 the same, I guess, and then just...
that's...
Poirier, Sean Wright Phillips, maybe a defender. That's about... Could sneak one, but...
Yeah, I mean, it's average 5, and you could get 8 or 9, so... Yeah. But, the problem is that Tottenham do spread the goals out quite a bit. Simon Davies is good. I'm just a bit put off by that Ziga orange flag now.
Yeah, it's a risk now. Will Poirier play both? Says points to points. If it's their full team both weeks, because Charlton is a rep game, then I would think that Poirier will play both. Yeah. But we're going to get league information on the first one at least. So Poyer's in their first starting lineup. So if it's green, for example, then you're looking good to go on that one, and then just treat the other game as a bonus, I guess.
If it's green, can we treat Ledley King as green, Luke?
Yes, we can, because Dean Richards is injured, so I'd expect King to play.
Okay, so if it's King to play, yeah. So if it's green, King starts. Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Can we say that now? If it's what's your 11, please?
my 11. So it's exactly as this what I just pointed out. So Simon Davies here, Bunjevic here, and Rebrov here. That would be my full 11.
Okay.
If any of that changes, if one player is different, like I don't know, say Pedrina plays instead of Ziga, then I'm just going to have to put it as blue because there's a tiny minor rotation. I don't like having to do the blue. There's a couple of times where I've put it green, even though there has been one change, just because that player nobody owns anyway. So a good example last week was Leeds, right? I put them as green because I wanted to convey the message that Ian Hart, Larson, everyone played, and I thought if I put blue, everyone will worry about that. But actually, Fernando played over Woodgate, and I would have Woodgate over Fernando, but I didn't want to put it for those reasons because I didn't think
I see why you did it, but people do own Woodgate as well, though.
Exactly. So it's a balancing act. It's a tricky one, isn't it? If I put it blue, then everyone shits themselves over who plays for Leeds, and it's like, what's worse, the few people who've got Woodgate miss out for him, or no one goes for Hart, Larson, anything? So it's tough. You know, the key's not perfect. It is slightly subjective.
Yeah. I mean, I wish you put Leeds as blue now because I wouldn't have got Hart in. So.
Well, this is the other thing. I don't do it on the results at all. So
no, it's fine.
Yeah, I can't do it for those reasons. I think Davies is on free kicks. He is, Rory. Yeah, he takes set pieces, corners, free kicks. He is a cheeky option. He's not really done much at all, but Spurs have just been diabolical. The games couldn't be better though. You know, Simon Davies, he's a great player in the game. He's really good, so I'm surprised. I mean, he was regularly one of the best 7 million midfielders on pricing sims. I was big on him in the beginning of the season. He actually started on fire, but he's been pretty shit since.
Yeah, I mean, Davis and Rebrov are the reason that I dropped a little bit of my rank. Just I held them for too long for good fixtures, just believing they were going to come good, and they haven't, unfortunately.
People who own Woodgate deserve all the shit they get, Andy. That's harsh. Yeah. I mean, you guys change. If you think I should have made Leeds blue because they had Woodgate play over Fernando last match, then I can start doing that from now on. If there's any change from the deviation, I can do it. But this is why I want to add a little bit of subjectivity to it, because I mean, look at their lineup. If I put that as blue, everyone thinks Hart doesn't play. Like,
exactly, I would have thought that.
Yeah, so I thought, well, it's one centre-back who, to be honest, Fernando has been playing a lot this season, so you could even argue he is now their first player. So that's, as long as I can justify it to myself, then I was like, I can do it.
No, definitely, I think it's green is fine, but Pedrina is not a green.
No, Pedrina should be nowhere near this team. Absolutely nowhere near. Watford have got an injury to Darren Ward for 3 weeks, and Harrison is 10 days with a twisted knee.
Nice. Not nice for him, but nice.
Petkoff, he got an assist last week, Andy. I told you he was back.
Yeah, it's Newcastle's one game, it's fine.
Look at that, 4 shots, 3 on target.
Yeah, fair enough. He's Watford, he plays for Watford. Put him in Leeds squad to do well, but it's Watford. I don't trust him.
Last week, look, goal, assist, man of the match. he could have had the penalty if Marcus Gale went on the pitch and got a brace. Come on, man, you know he's top stuff.
I'm not going on. I won't go
there. Anyway, so that's all the teams then. Not too much injury news. Larson basically, and there's not much else is there. There's a few little bits and pieces.
Yeah, have you got the list there? There's a couple of rumours, I think, but maybe they're all the same actually.
I'll just see if there's any worthwhile to read out. Let me see if I can find it.
You still got like Colin Cameron and
I'm just going to read
Rory Costa.
Out. Colin Cameron, Wolves. He plays for Wolves. Sorry, so 2 Everton, Leeds, Liverpool, and Tottenham all interested in him. Soren Colding from Bochum to Sunderland. He's a defender / midfielder. Thomas Flogel from Hearts to Millwall potentially. He's a defender, midfielder, forward.
Wow, okay.
Mark Fotheringham, who's actually pretty good in the game, is a midfielder.
Is he Celtic?
He was, I think, but he plays for Nottingham Forest now, or he's on loan to them, one of the two. And he's going to, he may be going to Watford. Andy Hinchcliffe, Sheffield Wednesday to Newcastle, potentially.
Terrible sign.
Yeah. Gary Holt, who's not the forward for Norwich, he's a midfielder for Norwich, to Leeds or Newcastle potentially. He's a pretty good DM.
Leeds, Gary Holt.
Oh. I know. He's really liked in this game actually. His stats aren't bad, but
yeah, I mean Norwich have been doing really well. They're top of the Championship, so
yeah. I mean he's not better than Decor, and they don't play Decor. So if he comes in, I just wouldn't expect him to play. This is a quite interesting one actually, and I said he does often come to the Premier League. So let's see. Juninho Paulista, who I've seen go to Everton in pricing sims, is wanted by Aston Villa amongst a whole host of other people. The only thing is Celtic are interested in him, so fucking don't doubt he goes there probably.
Yeah. He is the Juninho, isn't he? The original.
The originale for Middlesbrough, yeah. But he would be fun at least.
Yeah, he would be, definitely. Love to see him.
Klaus Lunderkvarm still wanted by Arsenal and Ipswich now. Rui Costa still wanted by Arsenal, but they're not doing anything. They're going to bid £1 soon, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Classic
Hopefully
Arsenal
go. Hopefully they'll go for that. He's so unhappy.
Jeff Whitley, Rochdale to Newcastle or Tottenham. I don't even know.
He was at Man City, wasn't he?
On loan from Man City.
Yeah.
Pretty shite.
Why would you go to Tottenham?
Yeah. They've already got Johnson, who doesn't play either, although he did play this week. And then other ones, Chettle, Newcastle to QPR, Gardso, Ipswich to Sundowns, Naylor, Ipswich to Brentford, Roberts, Charlton to Queen's Park Rangers, and Warner from Millwall to Swindon, all rumoured. And then there's ones in between teams within. So Berg, we already saw, potentially going to Arsenal, Man United or Newcastle. Festa is wanted now by Liverpool and Man United.
Okay.
Middlesbrough. Yeah, Dean Gordon still wanted by Man United. Mario Stanic is wanted by Ipswich.
Ipswich again, signing players.
Yeah, that would be a very interesting one actually, because considering the formation they play, Stanic would probably be right wing back like he was for Chelsea quite often.
He could go up top though as well, couldn't he?
Or he could go up top, yeah. And suddenly he could be a decent option.
If they're playing split forwards, like they do those arrows to the wide positions, he'd be quite good for that.
Yeah, could be. Ushden Doherty potentially as an upfront option. And Steve Watson from Everton to Newcastle still, potentially.
Okay.
Right. I haven't seen any sims or anything for this at all. So I don't know if you have, mate. Do you want to try some predictions?
Yeah, I have. It looks like quite an entertaining week. I saw a CM Fantasy video today, which is good.
Oh yeah, actually on that note quickly, last week was predicted to be a pretty low scoring one, wasn't it? And so it turned out to be pretty dull. So the sims are still decent, especially the Blackburn Liverpool one. That was well cool.
Yeah, guys, if you want to see anything as well, just let us know in the chat. So if you want us to click on home and away, do you want to click on home and away stats as well for goals and stuff?
Home
and away table.
Arsenal are now the best home side in the league.
Although Borough just conceded 4 goals and they conceded 2 this week.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive, isn't it? 9-1-2 drawn for Arsenal. I mean, Arsenal were third now in the league and they were shocking. When they were like 18th after 6 games or something.
They were like 17th, 16th, 17th. Everyone was saying Wenger out, led by me. and now they're third. And if they had a decent start, they would have been well clear.
Millwall, against when Millwall are at home, only 16 conceded. It's not the worst when they're at home, but Charlton 29 conceded when they're at home. It's pretty bad. What Derby are at home conceded 22, so Spurs are playing them. They're one of the weaker defences at home, according to this table anyway.
Spurs should score 5 or 6 goals in this double.
So away, Sunderland are the best team apparently, alongside Middlesbrough, Bolton, who have already been incredible away from home. In terms of conceded, we got Spurs 26 goals away from home, so maybe Derby batter them as well. That's always a chance of that.
Mm-hmm.
Newcastle shocking but Millwall 32. That's why I really fancy Blackburn this week.
And scored 3 as well. Look at the state of it. Yeah.
Yeah, scored 3, conceded 32, not won or drawn, not drawn a single game. So, yeah, that's got Blackburn easy win all over it.
Yeah.
I think De Boer's an outside captain pick this week. I really do, for his just because he's getting an extra point for a goal, he's getting an extra point for a clean sheet. I mean, he's shit. I hate him.
he's in my team, and I don't actually rate him at all.
No,
like,
he's really bad.
He's just popping up with the goals.
Yeah,
and that's why he's 6 million. But I wouldn't captain De Boer at all.
No,
you'd own him and take the 2 goals if he scores 2, and fine.
Last week, I mean, look how jammy this is. He's got 13 passes. He's done nothing in the game. He's had 1 shot. He got 6, and he scored it.
That's De Boer. Classic De Boer.
Yeah, there are 2 shots. Oh, and it had to be him, didn't it?
You're not going to seriously captain De Boer. You wouldn't captain De Boer.
I love my fixtures, don't I? No, it's a double. I would make it all day. My captain will be a Spurs player, just because I love. You've always got the chance, haven't you? But yeah. I think Van Nistelrooy, De Boer. There's a few other names, Janssen, that could be really good.
Yeah. John Shanley saying thought United and Paul were supposed to keep clean sheets. Yeah, meant to be.
Yeah. I don't know what to say to that. They've
Liverpool are tight. Liverpool are tight away. Look at that.
Man United.
They'll just go offensive.
18 goals scored, 17 conceded away from home. It's pretty dreadful.
And most games, it's a couple of shots against, and they go in because Bartes is so bad. They'd be walking the league without Bartes.
Chelsea only conceded 4 at home as well, even when they got most of the defenders injured. Yeah, some strange results here.
But again, I think it will just second half. It will play out how it normally does, and you'll see Man U, Arsenal, Leeds top 3, Chelsea, Liverpool 4th, and you'll be like, oh, it's a normal sim. But throughout the season, it changes up, doesn't it?
Yeah, 7 goals in 20 games for Farnsworth now. Ridiculous. Yeah, let these go. I'm just going to show you. Unsworth flicked the ball out to Gravison. Gravison passed left to Unsworth. Unsworth controlled the ball when bringing it down. Looked to take it forward. Jinxed it past Atherton. Skipped past Zepeda. Hit a fierce shot. Scored with a lovely strike. So that's why I hammed up the goal in the comms. He brings it down like Zidane, goes past people and smashes it in the top corner. I'm not taking the piss, guys. He's doing
Unsworth jinking. Yeah, he's jinking and skipping past.
Yeah.
Typical Unsworth, and just banging it in. Banging it.
Mental. Yeah. Kepa has posters of Bartes on his bedroom wall. All right, quickly, let's do some predictions then. Scores.
Okay, Arsenal-Chelsea, it'll be a 2-0 win to Arsenal. Comfortable.
Yeah, I'll go with that. 2-0 as well. I like that.
Cool.
Villa-Ipswich.
A high-scoring game for Villa, look like. I think they do quite well in this fixture. I'm going to go 3-1 Villa.
Nice. Yeah, 2-1 Villa I'll go.
Okay.
I think they'll win. Blackburn home to Millwall. I'm going to go I'm going to go 5-0.
You really like it 5-0.
I'm going to go 5-0.
With a good feat. Yeah, I'm going to go 3-0. I'm not going to be...
So brave.
Yeah, not so brave. 3-0.
You'll get a classic Souness 1-1 draw. He'll be happy with that.
Because they've still only lost twice, right, Blackburn? 21 games.
Where are they? Yeah, 2 losses.
Yeah,
10 draws and 9 wins. Perhaps it will be a draw. Charlton versus Middlesbrough. I think that Middlesbrough are going to win comfortably. I think they might concede because Charlton are pretty good at scoring. So I'll say 2-1 or maybe 3-1 Middlesbrough. I'll go 3-1.
3-1. I think that's pretty fair. It depends if Greg Warren starts.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, let's go. Charlton will be all right. I think 3-2 Middlesbrough.
Okay, lots of goals this week. It's looking good. Derby Spurs, honest to God, I don't know. You just saw how many goals Spurs concede away from home. Yeah. Derby are random. Sometimes they can't score. Sometimes they can score a bag load. They've got Ravanelli out though.
Thriller.
Yeah, I think that could be maybe just a high. Yeah, nearly any time Spurs play, I say 2-2. It feels like, and I'm going to say it again, 2-2.
Cool. I'll say 3-3.
Ooh, okay.
Jeez. Mad game, and everyone get excited about the double.
Yeah, bear that in mind, by the way, guys. If that is a shocker for any reason, there is another game to come, and it is home to Charlton. Arsenal showed it last time where they were dreadful in the first game, and then they turned it all around, so it can happen. Equally, you could have an amazing one and then be an absolute shitter for the second, couldn't it? So
yeah. And guys, it's back to Thursday as normal, same deadline, normal Thursday, and then double game will be on the Friday morning.
Yeah. Everton versus Bolton. I don't know what to expect here. Because Bolton are so weird in this. I'm going to say Everton are going to win because they're pretty good at home. I think they'll probably win 3. Maybe they'll score. Yeah, I'm going to go with 3. 3-1.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember how that was in the Sims. I can't really remember that. I'm going to go 1-0.
Okay. It's got to be one shit game.
Yeah.
Leeds Sunderland. I think Leeds will do their usual at home. They'll probably be boring. It'll be 0-0 at half time, 1-0 maybe, and it'll be like a 2-0 win or something.
Yeah, I'm going to say 3-0 Leeds.
Okay.
I think they'll do all right.
Nice. Leicester Liverpool. I'm going to back Liverpool to get a clean sheet, and it's going to be 1-0 to Liverpool.
Yeah, this is an interesting one that showed up because Liverpool actually did. Look, because both teams play attacking. Okay. Yeah. In this fixture, so Liverpool actually scored for once quite a bit. So I'm going to go 3-1 Liverpool.
Nice.
Which is unusual for them. But looking at the Sims, I think Owen was another shout on free hit striker that you could have this week. Oh, he actually did really, really well in this fixture.
Cool. Yeah, Leicester are a team that can concede 4 or 5 goals. They can capitulate occasionally. So yeah, I can see that. Man City, Watford. I think Man City will be comfortable in this game, and it will be again. Will Watford score? I'm gonna go clean sheet. 2-0 to Man City.
Well, surely Petkov scores, right? You know.
I hope so. Okay, I'll say 2-1. Petkov scores.
2-1. Let's go 3-1 and hope my gamble on keeping one shot pays off and he gets a brace. 3-1 Man City.
Nice. Newcastle Man United. I am going to back what I see in Sims quite often, and it's nearly always around 4 goals to Man United. So I'm going to go balls deep and say it's going to be. I'm going to go even. I'm going to go 4. Should I go 5? No, I'm going to go 4-0 to Man United. That feels fair.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we had the conversation, didn't we, last season? I was doing Sims and I was just screenshotting sim after sim of Man in Newcastle. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Different manager then, but it doesn't seem to make much of a difference. If anything, it's worse
fair enough.
For Newcastle.
Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, this could be a 5-1 result for Man U. It's really good for them.
Yeah, I mean, we thought that last week against Charlton. It didn't happen. Bear that in mind, guys. But
I mean, I actually think that if Charlton were defensive, I think this is a better fixture for Man U to score more goals. I didn't expect Charlton to score last week. I thought it'd be like a 2-3-0, but this one, both teams attacking. Newcastle in disarray. Man U 5-1, and it's going to be hard on a free hit not to have Varane and Van Nistelrooy.
Yeah, and Viduka's still a good option as well. It's really tough. There's lots of good players. Connects which goalkeeper will get assist number 2? Haven't we got 3 assists? I think we have got 3 assists now.
Yeah, Nash, Manninger and Shea Given.
Yeah, 3 assists already, mate. So who's going to get number 4? We've got none season 1. We've got 3 now.
Can you just click on Newcastle teams? Because I got Steve Harper as my reserve keeper. I don't think he's been on the bench.
No, this guy has. Signed, and stats okay. So maybe he's now number 2. I imagine he is.
Yeah, so Steve Harper is just never going to play ever.
Once first team football, always unhappy. Yeah.
Yeah, fine.
Steve Chettle, still not gone yet. Can't believe they bought him in for 300k. He started and took penalties away from Shearer, taking the piss.
Chettle just running up the pitch. Brilliant.
Yeah. All right, there you go, guys. I think that's everything. Is there anything else you want to see on the chat before we go? Anyone else saying, how about the goal report for De Boer? Oh, right. I can go look at that quickly,
Yeah. Before you said that, I did a quick free hit team. Just made it up about 5 minutes before you came on. So I would still probably go quite heavily on the double if I was doing a free hit team. And I know the clean sheets aren't going to come, but I'd probably still have Schwarzer in goal.
Okay.
Just to try and get safe points and maybe get 4 or 5 points, like more than try and gamble on the clean sheet. I think you can go with Schwarzer in goal. I put Unsworth is a good fixture. He's always on pens. Did all right. Hurtado, Salakovic, Davis. I like in the midfield. I know Salakovic is quite a bit more money, especially if you've got Veron in there. But then if you've got Brian Hughes as the 4.5 option, you'd start him as well with 2 fixtures.
Yeah.
And then Rebrov, Smith, and Janssen up top.
Rebrov, Smith, and Janssen. Okay. Yeah.
So not Van Nistelrooy because I couldn't afford him with the Salakovic.
Yeah.
And Veron. So, yeah.
Yeah. Smith.
Rude was the one to miss out. But if you can do a 3-hit team with Rebrov, Salakovic, Veron, Van Nistelrooy, and a lead striker, then I'd like to see it.
I'd certainly want one of Veron or Van Nistelrooy. I don't. Yeah, you can. I want one of them. Doesn't which one? I don't know. It appears that Veron's not been doing much away, so I guess Van Nistelrooy. But I think, like someone said, that's probably just variance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd want Blackburn in there for sure. I'd want Spurs in there just on the chance that it would happen. I think I mentioned Berg, Curtis, people like that now. If they're going to play 3 at the back against Millwall, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Brian Hughes or Fatty Dinter, I'd give them a spin.
I mean, you need someone that can enable your team as well. So Brian Hughes, I still prefer Brian Hughes to Fatty Dinter.
Yeah, and Middlesbrough have been slightly forgotten. They are away to Charlton for the first game and are top of the league. And Rickard's boxes, Johnson, Cepeda are killing it every week. So I don't see any reason why they won't do very well as well. Yeah,
but that's another reason I don't really like 3-hit either. I know you probably haven't got Spurs or Charlton assets, but the players that you do have, like your Cepedas, Vidukas, Manu assets, have got great fixtures. So like the upside isn't too much this week. If you can take like a -4 and get a few Spurs players in. It's awkward because there is different ways to play it. I'm just going for how I'm doing it, but
yeah, I suppose the thing to note, and it was a discussion in the Discord briefly, is people saying we wouldn't want to keep Spurs after that because of how they've been performing. But if you don't believe in form, then is that really a thing? Because at home to Leeds seems like a terrible game on paper, but Spurs in a home game, they're attacking. Leeds aren't particularly. That could be alright, and then they're playing away to Millwall, 2 promoted teams straight afterwards. And home to Sunderland's not bad either. So I don't think their run is terrible. I think you can get a few players and you can hold them, and you're inclined to want to hold them if they do well in the double as well. That's just how it works in our psyche, right? So I think there's a first option.
Yeah, I mean my plan is to bring in 3 because I've got 2 free transfers, so I'm going to take a -4 to get 3 Spurs assets. I don't really know how I'm doing that yet because of the Ziege injury, but I think I can hold for a few weeks and like maybe transfer one out again next week. But then
why not get this guy then? If you don't trust Ziege, get him for 4 million. He'll hopefully play both the games. Maybe get you a clean sheet. I mean, very unlikely, but you could get your bonus, and then you can just leave him on your bench, can't you? Or upgrade Galley or upgrade him later.
Yeah, well, there's actually my plan moves was King. It was going to be King, Ziege, and Salakovic, and keep the 3 forwards. So, yeah, I might just have to look at Rebrov and I don't know, losing Viduka or Van Nistelrooy for this week feels horrendous.
That feels like pain to me. I think Van Nistelrooy and Viduka could easily do very well this week. But he wants Spurs. It's so tricky, and it's so tricky. I'll be so interested how this pans out because it feels so. I mean, my job is here to try and help you guys and advise, but to be honest, there is so much luck involved in an individual week, and I just don't know. They're all good options in their own right, and you're just gonna have to pick a side and go for it and just fucking hope.
Yeah. Would you say Rebrov's the best captain choice this week?
I think Rebrov or Salakovic is probably the best captain choice. They've got 2 chances. I mean, the games are just so good. I feel like I'd want to captain one of those 2 just on the off chance.
Yeah, and then there's also the triple captain as well.
I don't know if I'd spend that on them. If I triple captain someone, if it's not Van Nistelrooy, I want them to at least come with pens. So that puts Salakovic in the fold, but I don't know whether I trust him enough. And he's a midfielder, and he's
These fixtures are so good though. Charlton and Derby.
Good. Yeah, but if Man United do get the triple later in the season and people are on Veron, imagine triple captain in Veron when everyone else just single captains Van Nistelrooy, and then something similar to this week happens where Van Nistelrooy blanks and Veron goes mad. That is like, potentially 80, 90 points. I think it's a lot better chip in this than it is in FPL. I think it is because then the hauls are more predictable.
Yeah, but I think Spurs are going to haul, and I'll be captain Salakovic. I'm pretty sure because of the penalties.
Yeah, brave.
But then But then going right Redroth is going to kill me. I know it is. Oh, listen.
Let's end this before you beat yourself up.
Yeah,
Right,
fine.
everyone, thanks for joining in. Good luck.
Cheers, guys.
Hopefully, Leak will be out. I mean, I'm going to do it all now and pass it to Rob, so I imagine he'll do it for tomorrow morning, as he's usually pretty good at doing that. So that's probably when you see it. And then obviously, I think who's on comms this week? I think it's Panda on comms this week. I'm not 100%, but I'm pretty sure it is. So he'll be doing that for you.
Great.
Right.
Good stuff.
Big up, everyone. Peace. Catch you later.
Take care. Gash free. Stay gash free.
Watch them toes.